All right, this is Plotting and Visualization 2, Chapter 902. We import the usual and matplotlib C book, which gives us access to matplotlib cookbook example data. All right, this is the link you should explore on matplotlib, the latest version. This line here registers pandas formatters and converters with matplotlib. This makes matplotlib use pandas timestamp, period, datetime, and other functions available to matplotlib. Okay, so here we're going to play with setting the title, the axis labels, the ticks, and the ticks labels. Now, a cumulative sum is a sequence of partial sums of a given sequence. For example, the cumulative sums of the sequence A, B, C are A plus B, A plus B plus C, and so on. Example A. Initialize the figure with our constructor here in the axis. Set the title to that, color green. Set the X label to that. Set the little ticks that appear on the axes to those positions. And set the labels for those ticks. Rotation for the labels gives us a little bit of an angle down there on the x-axis labels. I've used a small font and red. Now here we're going to use plot a random cumulative sum. And there you have it, the cumulative sums down here. That's the angle that 45 rotation gives us for these labels. And the color is red, and so forth. Moving on to example B. In example B, we're going to be adding a legend. So we have our values for X and 3 Y's. We're going to initialize the figure and the axes. Set the title for the figure and its font. Subtitle. Okay. Draw all the lines in the same plot. AX, AX, AX. We're going to plot the same X values and different Y values with different colors and different labels. And then we're going to add a legend to the lower center with its title. No border around the legend, and the number of columns is going to be 3. The labels are going to be 3. Then we show the legend, the plot. And there they are. That's the legend there. We move the legend, let's say, to the upper left. I am using your new the gift you gave me, the keyboard. But for this, I thought that it would be better that you see what I'm typing. And we're going to say upper left, and we're going to put a frame around it, around the legend. Alright. I'm not sure what number of columns is going to do in this case. Let's see. Oh yeah, okay. We need to say that the number of columns is going to be 1, so it displays it in a smaller vertical way. There you go. Cute and pretty. Moving on. Now we are on example C. We're going to plot data from pandas, from a pandas data frame, which comes from a CSV file. Now we say with. Now this is where we use that import up there, cbook, cookbook for matplotlib, because we get access to the built-in example data. This is a Microsoft ticker stocks data from the stock market. We import it as a file. We read the file with pandas. And we use parse dates to format the date column. So we have the Microsoft data frame here. We're going to print it in our console. Then we're going to use names, actual strings, as our indices from the file. So we're going to use a column called date as our x, and as our values for the y, high and low for the stock values. And we're saying, yeah, subplots is true, so it's going to take these two things and make individual plots out of them in the same figure. There's our data frame. We have the columns date, high and low for the stock values. We have the volume, how many trades have been made on them. We have a column called close asterisk. That asterisk is there as a character in the title there. So here we have our two subplots in the same figure, and the dates. Apparently, using parse dates of the dates also slants them like on a 45-degree angle there. And we have two subplots in the same figure. If instead of the actual names of the columns, we wanted to use numbers, we can do that as well. And here we're going to be using the indices numbers for the two subplots. Alright. And it's going to be 0, which is the date for the x, and 5 and 6. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The volume and the close. Alright, yeah, the volume and the close, and the closing value on that day. Moving on. questions? I didn't think so. Okay. Example D. Wow. Example D is using a bar chart for the volume and slices for the indices. Okay, so we're going to show the volume, how much trading on those days. Instantiate, open the file, format the dates, make a data frame out of it. It's Microsoft data. We print it here, and here we say bar chart, and these are actually, okay, let's say they're slices. 0 would be the index of the date, and 5 would be the index of the volume. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yes. And here we are issuing an out of format of the date in the x-axis. There we go. Moving on. La, la, la. And now we're going to go to example E. In example E, we're going to do a single subplot with several indices. We use the same file, the Microsoft file. We print it here like that again as a data frame. And here we have several of the columns in the indices and the Y, and on the X we have the date. So we have those several lines in the same subplot. Alright. Looks like using pandas also gives us a nice legend in the right spot, and so on. Nice. Bet you Michael can use that. Alright, moving on. Last example. Example F. We're going to use a semi-logarithmic graph for the volume of the cells, that column. In a semi-logarithmic graph, one axis has a logarithmic scale and the other axis has a linear scale. In a logarithmic scale, there is less spacing between increasing powers of 10. This is going to happen in our y-axis. Our x-axis is going to be a linear scale. We grab the data, we print the data frame, and we plot it with a simple pandas data frame, date, date on the x, volume on the y, but make it semi-logarithmic. And there it is. You see the y? It's logarithmic. If it had a grid, you could see that the spacing between the values here gets smaller and smaller as you go up. Alright, that does it for today. For this one, baby, I love you.